Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the GCast. Episode 1 was so successful, we're back for number 2. This has got nothing to do with the fact that we had half an hour with nothing on and decided to do it again because we enjoyed ourselves.
Hold on. I don't think we had half an hour with nothing on.
That's true. We are very, very busy.
And clothed. That's what I was getting at
more
than anything.
I see. We've gone. So my name is Martin Wyatt. I'm joined again on the GCast by the fabulous Brycey. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good.
I'm loving your T-shirt. People can't see it, but what you're sporting today is a T-shirt with a skull, and the skull is made out of cats.
It's good. Do you know where that's from? Do you know where that's from?
Where's it from?
Loot Crate.
Loot Crate. Good. Right. No plugs. And we're also joined. by the wonderful Trout 91.
Hello.
AKA.
I'm across the room again.
You are, but always close. Always
close in your hearts.
Always. You all right?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. No, I'm good. I'm looking forward.
Good.
I'm looking forward to episode 2. The first thing I've got to do is apologise to Stephen Merchant, the comedian, because I called him Simon Merchant last week. Stephen, if you are listening, apologies. You're probably not listening. If anyone is listening that knows Stephen Merchant, can you pass on my apologies?
If you're a friend of Stephen Merchant's brother's cousin, then,
pass it on.
Yeah.
Good.
Get down to 10. You're only 7 steps of separation away from anyone on the planet.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, either way, hopefully it gets to him.
Yeah.
I think it will. So just to remind you of the format, this is going to be about roughly 30 minutes long, and in the 30 minutes we will be presented with 5 random subjects, which we have no idea what's going to pop up. Some gaming related, some not, and we just see what happens.
Wherever the wind takes us.
Wherever the wind takes us. You up for that, boys?
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right. So, Chris, you will be performing the role of receiver for the second week in a row.
I love receiving.
Well, we learnt this last week. What is the first subject we've got to discuss today?
The first subject is, what is the best thing about working in esports?
What a great way to start the show.
Well, that is a great way. It's quite a serious topic.
Is it? It's a fun industry.
It is a fun industry, but I feel like that's a serious question.
So, all right. So, what's your favourite thing about working in esports, Bryce?
Esports.
You've got more in you than that. Come on.
Well, I don't know what else to say, but I literally live and breathe esports, as you probably well know, and now work in esports.
Friction welding.
And friction welding, friction welding is cool. Look, if you ever go on YouTube, look up friction welding and tell me that isn't cool.
We can't have another episode about this. Let's carry on.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not? I mean, I live and breathe it. I can't stop thinking about it, talking about it, everything. So the fact that I actually have even a little bit of influence and I get to kind of do the stuff I do, it's amazing. There is no single greatest thing about esports because I love all of it.
You're just passionate about the fact that you love doing something that you love.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What about you, Trouty? What's your favourite thing about working in the world of esports?
Gets to sleep at his desk.
Yeah.
I would say probably the fact that it's such a young industry. We almost get to shape it as for the future, for the little kids who will be playing in a couple of years, who are going to be the Messis of the esports world. They'll be like, how did this all come about? And be like, there was a load of guys, one of them bald, one of them with spiky hair, one of them a fish, all get around talking about esports, making it happen, the rules, etc. Then there's a Scotsman somewhere, who knows where he is, what he does, but yeah.
Who cares either? So you quite like the fact that you're being part of something that provides a bit of a legacy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
What about you then, Mike?
My favourite thing about it is it's the biggest thing in the world that no one knows about. Obviously, millions and millions of people know about it. But if you
I'm gonna stop you right there. How many times have you used that tagline?
But it's the truth. It still hasn't changed, and I will keep pumping that bad boy.
I feel like that's on your business cards.
I've got it tattooed across my back.
Martin Wyatt. I work in an industry that nobody knows about,
but it's the biggest thing.
It is. No, genuinely though, it is. I love the fact that it's a lot of people say it should be mainstream, but I think it was Robert that runs DreamHack. He put it best in the best way that I've seen recently, and he said everyone talks about the fact that esports should be mainstream when actually it already is, and I quite like his position. I quite like his statement.
No.
You don't like his statement? Sorry, Robert. Bryce,
I get what he means, but
I might be misquoting him a bit.
I get what he means, but someone else put it a slightly different way. He says, "You'll know esports is mainstream when everyone stops discussing whether or not we're going to hit mainstream. That's when you know."
All right.
I mean, it's huge, right? Esports is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Is it mainstream? I feel like if you went out and talked to someone on the street now, 10 people on the street, you'd be lucky to get 1 or 2.
Well, I think you've got to look at what the definition of mainstream is. If the definition of mainstream is participated in and viewed by millions and millions and millions of people, it probably already is. I'm in Robert's corner. I'm backing Robert here.
But that's the other issue you've got to think of here, is that those numbers come across a global scale.
Yeah.
So it's actually a very small percentage of the entire global population. Whereas mainstream, if you even in concentrated areas like Korea, you could say that that's mainstream there because it genuinely is that part of the population is a significant percentage.
All right, that's fair enough.
If you go with the global numbers, you get 100,000 concurrents on the stream. Well, that's 7 billion because you are literally taking it from 36 countries or whatever you're doing.
Nice.
But all right, I mean it's good. Yeah, I kind of agree that esports is a lot more popular than people give it credit for, especially people who don't know about it. They go, oh, what's this thing? And you go, well, these are the numbers. They go, holy, what? How do I not know about this?
Yeah.
But mainstream, I don't think it's quite there yet.
It will be.
There's also charge.
It will be. Well, there were 3 very different answers to a question, but we're off and running.
Yeah.
Episode 2's underway, and we've only spoken about Friction Welding once. So, Chris, you have been handed subject number 2. Give it to us.
Question number 2 is, who is the most inspiring person you've ever met and who has influenced you the most?
Oh, bloody hell.
This seems like who do we kind of want to fillet in the industry right now?
Okay.
Oh, come on, I've been asked that question before and it's a very difficult question to answer.
Not for me. Who's the most inspirational person? Oh, see, I don't know. It depends, I think.
That is a difficult one.
This is really tough. I find all sorts of people inspiring. Though. I find people that are trailblazers inspiring. So I find the guys, and girls that are first through the door and breaking new ground. I find them inspiring.
You're just going very generic with this.
Yeah, but the thing is, I can't think of one person that's inspired me the most.
I can.
Who?
And it took me a couple of minutes to remember the reason I got into esports, or one of the reasons that I kind of really pushed for esports and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Was
actually T Squared.
Okay. Yeah.
When he's if you go into the back of his story, I mean, there are some people who don't like him. Like a good friend of mine, Gandhi, not a big fan of T Squared. However, I was as a fan watching Halo back in the day.
Sorry to interrupt you. You just described Gandhi as a good friend of yours. Would Gandhi describe you as a good friend of his?
No, but I'm a friendly guy, so
okay. Sorry, go on. Carry on about T Squared. Sorry.
You know what? You have ruined what I was talking about now, and now I'm sitting here awkwardly going, if he watches this, what is he going to say?
I think what I've just done is behave in a way that some people would find quite inspirational.
I think irritating is the way to put it.
Yeah, irritating.
Anyway, no, I don't want to ask him now. You've embarrassed me to the point where I don't want to do this anymore. All right, okay. The T Squared.
I know he loves you. Go on, carry on.
So I don't know if you've ever heard about some of the backstory for T Squared, or because I heard a few things. I don't know how true this is. Obviously, What do
you mean? Heard a few things like urban legends?
Well, I'm not sure if it's an urban legend or something I watched because I don't really remember. But I think it might have been a little bit sort of a documentary sort of thing about him.
Okay.
And from what I understand, because he was on the front of Time magazine,
right?
Like
That's impressive.
Controller and stuff. And from what I understand, he was a millionaire through it because he used to work for G4, I want to say. All these sorts of TV companies. He was one of the big first sponsorships, alongside people like Walshy, which you've probably heard of.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
But basically, please don't shake your head off. It's a microphone. It doesn't pick that up. Anyway,
go on, carry on.
Basically, he wanted to go to events so badly that he used to skip lunch at school and save his lunch money up. And then he would.
I'm really sorry, but I've got a massive fit of giggles. Oh dear!
How dare you laugh at this man's inspirational story? You cruel, heartless man!
I'm not right. Let me just be clear. I'm not laughing at the story. I've got to be honest. I don't even know what I'm laughing at. Saved up his lunch money, just killed me. I don't know why. So carry on. I don't know why.
Can I finish my story?
I'm really sorry. I'm going to shut up now.
Right. So he set up his lunch money to do it, and then he used to hitchhike to events. They used to just try to get a lift to events. Then he used to just like sleep on people's floors, on radio, whatever. You should just get there and just basically do it as cheap as possible to keep going to events.
That is cool.
Eventually he got his I believe it was MLG contract, which was $250,000 over 3 years, plus all the other sponsorships, plus prize winning. Everything until he eventually got to the point where he was flush. But that was a great story for him with straight ripping and everything.
See, that is quite inspirational. The clear themes there are sacrifice, hard work, and the rewards will come.
Yeah.
That is inspirational. That's a really good story. I'm sorry I interrupted, actually. I'm all right now. I've chilled out. Chris, who inspires you?
Myself.
You inspire
I'm
yourself?
I don't really have any major inspirations, to be honest. It's more of a respect for people for what they do and what they've done, rather than them inspiring me.
Okay.
I kind of just get on with doing what I do.
Give us a couple of examples.
There's a couple.
I swear to God, if you say Martin, I swear to God.
There's a couple of YouTubers, for example. I don't know if you know who Hutch is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hutch, Only Use My Blade, kind of people like that. I respect the thoughts they've got, and you know the kind of stories that they've been through. Kind of like, well, I say it's not exactly the same story as T Squared, but it's kind of that having a tough time and then being able to get through it, and you know, kind of changing yourself completely to get to a point where you're being a success. And you're an inspiring guy. I have a lot of respect for you for the amount of graft and work that you put in to be someone who had no idea what gaming and esports was, and then
I knew that was coming.
You're now one of the most knowledgeable people at it. It's quite. I do have a lot of respect for you in that terms.
And that, my love, is mutual. Notice how I didn't interrupt Chris then.
I was gobsmacked. I actually tuned out for a second, and I was like, is he actually going through with this? He is.
I just think that everyone should probably take on board that valuable lesson that I've learned from Chris, who inspires me. Trout.
Do you know what's actually going to come out of this conversation?
A pay rise?
Is that Paul Kent is going to wonder why none of us said him? I feel like that's going to come out.
The snow leopard.
I think the Scottish snow leopard himself knows deep down why.
What kind of man walks into an office and calls himself the snow leopard?
One that wears red, juicy tracksuit bottoms.
Oh my God, it's awful. I'll tell you what I do. A thing I find inspiring in and around esports is that it's. Chris made the point earlier on about it being a kind of a young industry. I find it incredibly inspiring that so many people so young are so sure of what they want to do, are so dedicated, and are incredibly professional. That was the one thing that blew my mind the first time I experienced a live esports event at MLG Anaheim back in 2013, back in June 2013. And I walked in there and I was blown away by the setup. And then as we started meeting people and interviewing people, you know, they're 18, 19, 20. I was completely blown away by the fact that, obviously, they're a lot younger than me, but they're at a stage of their life where, you know, they're mature, they're dedicated, they're professional, they've got a plan, and they stick to it. And they know no matter what happens to them, they just keep going. No matter what people say to them about the chosen path of, you know, their professional careers, not maybe potentially, in other people's opinion, not being right, they keep doing it. And I have to admit, that's the one thing that keeps on impressing me from time to time. Good. Okay. This is a very deep episode so far. This is a very...
Right. Well, let's have the next subject. And it better be a funny one. Oh, it's not a funny one.
It's not so much a funny one. Well, it can be funny, but it's quite a nice one. What games this year have not had the hype they deserve?
Ooh. So underrated games.
Speedrunners.
Speedrunners was fun, wasn't it?
That game is actually amazing.
It is, isn't it?
Because I introduced it. I'm in I don't know how to best describe it. A sort of a gaming Skype call, and it's people from all over, everywhere as well. Someone from Finland,
nice.
A few Americans, all sorts of people. Just ended up in the Skype call with people they know.
Anyone from? Let me see if I can guess. Let me see if I can guess. Anyone from Bali?
I don't know.
All right.
I never asked for that specifically.
Have you got anyone in there from Papua New Guinea?
No.
Well, so if you're out there, person or people from Papua New Guinea, you do want to join a Speedrunners related gaming Skype call, Bryce's. You're right though. Speedrunners is a lot of fun, isn't it? And they haven't made much noise about that game.
So I introduced it to the people in here. A few people were like, look, I've been playing this in the office. You guys need to get this game. And a good friend of mine, this time probably is actually a good friend, Meikle. We all know Meikle. Meikle, I was like, Meikle, you need to get this game. We're all playing it in the office all the time. You need to get it. So he got it, and then a few other people get it, and then they couldn't put it down. And it was for what was really a quite simple concept, just done really, really well. And it was a lot of fun. It's all about the interactions between people were the greatest.
Yeah,
as we knew, because it got banned from the office because we played it too much.
This is very, very true. But you're right. It's an easy game to play, so it's kind of easy entry into playing something that's fun and competitive. Yeah. I think that's probably the best example I can think of is Speedrunners. It's made by Tiny Build. If you haven't got it, just check it out. It's on Steam. Go and get it. It's really cool. Really cool. You can actually, I think, maybe still get it through the Gfinity website with the discount.
Yeah.
There's about 10% off it, I think. Hopefully you can. If not, unlucky you missed it. But
That's definitely a game to play with friends as well.
yeah,
That
it
game
is.
phenomenal.
I think that's the best shout. Well played, Bryce. Chris, would you add to that? Or
I haven't played Speedrunners.
okay, so it's massively underrated for you because you haven't even played it. What would you say then is the most underrated game?
I haven't really got much to say on this because I've only played about 4 different games all year. Not
Same
at the
games,
time.
same
Not at
games.
the time. It's been like FIFA,
Mm.
COD,
Mhm.
League of Legends, pretty much.
I literally played yesterday, NBA 2015. And I'll be honest with you, I wasn't looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I was like, this game's probably going to suck.
Right.
Enjoyed it.
Did you like it?
Yes.
I
don't entirely know.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Incredible the amount of effort they put into it. But I was trying to figure out obviously the controls, not easy. But I was having fun regardless. Mainly as I picked the Chicago Bulls team from 95 to 96, and they were all 99, and then I thrashed Swanee to death. But yeah, I actually had fun, and it's kind of like I like games you don't really expect to actually have fun on.
Yeah, but you're a person who will play and try pretty much any sort of game.
Yeah.
How many games have you got in your Steam?
Right now, I think I'm up to 115.
Yeah, so that's quite
Yeah.
a lot. But so NBA.
2015 is actually quite a fun game. I was surprised just how fun it is.
See, I like basketball, so I'd like to play that. That piques my interest because I like the sport. And I would maybe be critical from another point of view, whether it sort of is, realistic or whatever.
Oh, I think it is actually quite realistic.
I'd like to play it. I love how it looks.
Well, it's great. I've got to do a review on it, so you can join me.
Excellent.
I have got a game.
Oh, go on then.
Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds.
Nice.
I played it on a DS.
So-
I finished it in 5 days.
That's because you're a god. That's because you're a god. Were you not expecting much from the game, which is why you were.
I was. It's not that. I think I got what I was expecting from the game. I think it's just it wasn't really talked about much.
Okay.
It wasn't really given the same credit, and I think that's probably because it is a handheld Zelda game, and not many people are into handheld Zelda games anymore. When you've got the console,
I feel like handheld gaming has died a death.
it's kind of. I don't think it's died a death. It's just sometimes it's a bit more difficult to kind of
Justify it over a phone.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, it's got to be really difficult from
And console blows it out of the water.
From a publisher's perspective, though, right? It's got to be really, really difficult. You've got a new game coming out. Do you want to hype the life out of it and risk the fact that you've overhyped it and people are disappointed, or do you just kind of want to make not much noise about it, let people find it's successful that way?
The first one.
So the first one, so you want it to be overhyped, get it excited, so it sells, bang, you hit the
Day one sales.
Day one sales,
Day
make
one
the
sales.
money, bank it, and then worry about whether people
Will buy a
like
sequel.
it or not.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it depends.
I think
yeah,
I was
it's a
just
serious question.
surprised because the Legend of Zelda series brings such a huge fan base and such a huge cult following to it.
Nintendo are literally kind of going back to basics, aren't they?
I was just surprised that no one had really. I almost forgot that game had even come out because it was so little talked about. I mean, the game was a solid game. I think that there was a lot they could have done more of it because the whole premise of it is you basically can obviously morph between your real self and then become like a painting on the wall. So you can only think at how many different like objectives you can do and puzzles and stuff like that, which is basically the premise of Zelda is a load of puzzles. You can think how that kind of could really open all sorts of windows to do stuff, and I don't think they quite utilised it to the best there, but at the same time it was a good solid game and I liked it, and I'm quite surprised it didn't quite get the attention.
That sounds like quite a fun feature, being able to become a painting on a wall.
Yeah.
So
that doesn't sound like a fun feature at all.
Just disguise.
I feel like
just to disguise. No, I'm talking about the overall ability. I mean, if there's one thing I'd like to do, it'd be able to disguise myself as a picture on a wall.
Really, you just go walk along, and be like,
But you just.
oh damn, I forgot to take the washing out. Quick, sunflowers.
See this Martin picture there, like, and everyone be like,
random.
Who would buy that picture?
Banksy. Banksy would buy a Martin. No, he wouldn't. Would you? Banksy, if you're out there, and if your name is Simon Merchant, and contact us. I'm Banksy at Gfinity.net.
stop making email addresses. I don't even.
Oh, I can't help it. Good stuff. Right, so we have. Let's crack on. Subject number 4.
Number 4 is what 3 items would you most like to have if you were stranded on an island? The old classic.
Good stuff. 3 items. iPod, Need the tunes.
Need the tunes.
Need the tunes.
What kind of tunes? What's your favourite tune?
My favourite ever
What's
song?
your most played on your iPod?
Hold on. I got it here.
I think it's a great question for all of us. I'm asking Chris while he's looking. What's the most favourite played song on yours? As if you're both getting your phones. I already know what mine is. I think mine's Pigeon John the Bomb.
Surprised
I'm
it's
the
not
bomb. I'm
friction
about to
welding.
blow up. Ba-dum, ba-dum.
Friction welding noise.
Hold on.
I'm just gonna
This is an awful time for my phone to stop working.
My phone is actually dead and charging because I can have a Gcast without being on my phone.
Mine is a song by a group called the Coasters, and it's the song's called "Down in Mexico."
How's that go?
I'm not singing it. Just look it up.
Just give me like a line.
I won't do it.
One
credit.
line of sing.
Oh.
One line of sing.
Mine is "The Show Goes On" by Lupe Fiasco.
Oh, okay, good stuff. And so, what was your favourite song, Boris?
At the moment, the one I keep playing is "The Bomb." I'm the bomb and I'm about to blow up by
Nice.
Pigeon John. I think it is.
Other items I want to be stuck with on a desert island is probably a knife and a lighter.
Wise choice.
Do you want my lighty thingy?
I want your lighty thingy, yeah, because I want to be able to kill animals to eat, and I want to be able to burn stuff to stay warm,
That's intelligent.
and cook the dead animals.
Yeah,
That's good.
I honestly think that if you're going to take something, you're going to need. I need 2 knives and a sharpening stone, and that's it.
2 knives and a wide. So why would you not
One
have
machete, one smaller knife for more subtle work, and
more subtle work?
well, I'm not. It'd be easier to have a smaller knife for doing other things.
I'm interested to know what you mean by subtle work. What do you mean by subtle work?
Well, it'd be more difficult, I imagine, to skin a rabbit with a machete than a smaller knife.
Okay, yeah, fine.
Or if I had to do, if I was cutting something. Actually, I'll take an axe and a knife, and a good knife, and a sharpening stone.
So one axe, a mid-sized knife.
Yeah, good knife.
A la Crocodile Dundee. That
Yeah,
kind of thing?
I mean that's pretty good knife.
All right, and a sharpening stone. Chris, what would you take?
Just tell
See, I like to find loopholes, so I'd probably take like a boat with boat fuel and a compass, so I can go home.
That is quite simply the best answer to that question I've ever heard.
You'd still die. 100%. I'm convinced you would die.
No, you wouldn't, because I'd catch. What I'd do is I'd put my knife to your throat, nick your freshly skinned rabbit that I've cooked, and give it to him for his boat.
While I've still got an axe and a knife.
Yeah, whatever. And you and I
and a stone.
You and I would live happily in isolation.
I've been watching too much survival stuff recently, which is why I bought that stupid survival flint thingy.
I think we covered in the last episode the kind of things you watch, and let's not get into it again. Cause it's
no, this is different. I've been watching a bit of Bear Grylls. Then unfortunately I somehow managed to get onto watching reviews of survival backpacks and bug out bags. Don't know how they got onto there, but that obviously led on to me going onto Amazon and purchasing this fire lighting stuff. Which is also why my answer was very survivalist.
Yeah. So I'm not even getting into it. I'd hate to watch TV with you. It'd be awful. Right, subject number 5, please, Chris. Receive it and give it.
Esports bars are starting to pop up all over London. If Gfinity were to open one, what should the bar have and why?
Oh, great question.
If 100% doing it.
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay, you've heard it here first. For more information on that, please email us at gfinitybars@gfinity.
Stop it!
The G bar.
You can't just make an email.
No, we didn't have to. Michael has to.
If you're getting annoyed with Martin's constant referral to emails, please email us at Martin annoys me at gfinity.net.
You can email me, martin@gfinity.net. I don't mind. I'll talk to you. I've got loads
If you have any other emails you think we should be making, please email us at createanemail@gfinity.net.
This is getting out of hand.
Yeah.
Right, okay, if Gfinity had an esports bar, what would be in it?
I want a bar. I've been petitioning for a bar here for a long time.
I think we need to have
an email creator.
Before anything else, the one thing you'd have to have in an esports bar from Gfinity is bouncers to keep people in the office away. Specific people, like one of the people in this call, in this chat.
That sounds like an allegation.
I'm not sure if it's an allegation or just a very subtle dig.
I think it's a subtle dig. I'd have the keys. No, I'd like to see. I think the important
tennis.
things. I was
Pool
just about.
table.
Just about to say. I think you need to have all the esports stuff. I think you need the ability for
Couple
people
of emulators.
people to be able to play, people to be able to watch, and something different. When like Chris said, the table tennis table, a pool table, probably some music. Get a DJ in there. I want it to be. I'd love it to be double lively. As soon as people have finished watching, the League of Legends World Championship finals, bang, the music comes on. Out come the chili shots, and
everybody dance now.
I'll tell you what people do need when they get in through the front door.
Disco ball.
No? I'm just adding music to the background of this.
That's terrible. when people do get into the Gfinity bar, the stamp Bouncers gives you.
It's got the G on it.
It's a little G, and you can never wash it off.
So essentially, it's a
you've
tattoo.
tattooed people.
Basically, I want a nightclub called Gfinities.
Gfinities.
Where you get a free tattoo.
Free tattoo.
That you don't want.
Yeah, and it's full of...
Create your email station.
You could hold all sorts at Gfinities. You could hold line dancing. You could have speed dating there.
How is this an esports bar? By the way, come down on Tuesday. We know
They'll be
Worlds
playing
is on, but
they'll
we've
be
got line
playing Call
dancing.
of Duty while speed dating.
They could do line dancing, right? But it could be
They've got to
space.
pair up and play each other.
They could do line dancing, but it could be Space Invaders. So you just very slowly go dun, across the room and then down one and then back.
And someone's pelting them with things.
With a Nerf gun.
Exactly.
So that seems to bring us to a natural close, I think.
I think we need a cocktail as well. What would the Gfinity cocktail be?
Grenadine, because it's red.
Is it?
I think. Grenadine's red, right? You
Can someone check whether grenadine is red? It's been confirmed grenadine is red. So carry on, grenadine.
And then you'd probably have... I didn't get any further than that. I was like, yes, got to have grenadine in it.
Then it'd be like alcohol of some sort.
So I feel like it should be something that speaks about Gfinity, so it would just have a lot of everything in there, and then we'd set it on fire.
Please let us know your cocktail suggestions at gfinitybar at gfinity.net.
Right,
we'll have a bar, we'll have a cocktail, we'll do all that. That seems
there was very little esports stuff in our bar, by the way. Our esports bar, very little esports.
You're poking holes in it. It doesn't need holes.
Don't worry about it. We'll have a PC in the corner. People can play StarCraft. It'll be cool. Right, thank you very much for tuning in to episode 2 of the GCast. Like we said last time, we want you to be able to tell us what you want us to talk about. So do let us know. Just tweet us at Gfinity with your.
We're not doing an email this time.
Well, we've already set up, yeah.
We have got an email.
Oh, good.
The genuine email.
We now have a genuine email, gcast@gfinity.net, for your subject suggestions. So do bring them out of left field, chuck some curveballs in there, or if there is anything serious you want myself, Bryce, and Chris to discuss, chuck it in and we'll talk about it. And Bryce, did you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Nice. Chris, would you like to say goodbye?
I would. Goodbye, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed the podcast.
And I would just say, like I said last time, we'll see you inside your ear holes and your brain again very, very soon. That's episode 2, done and dusted. Thanks for listening. We love you loads. Cue the music.